Alright, what's up, y'all? Nice to see some friends in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for catching RPGchick-a-thon or whatever this is called. I don't even know. Oops. And, we're here with some Phantasy Star 4. My name's Bichphuongballz. And, we're gonna be on a ride for the next 3.5 to 4 hours. Hope you enjoy. So, we'll get going and go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So, welcome. We're going to be introduced to our few main characters right now. We got Alice there in the front, Hunter Extraordinaire, and then we got her full-fledged partner, Chaz Ashley, there in the back with his blonde hair, you know. And let me tell you about Chaz. He's the hero of the story. And as the hero of the story, I just need for everybody to know that he sucks and I hate him for most of the game. And now that you have those expectations in check, we're ready to go here. This is the 4th game in the Phantasy Star series, the first on the Sega Master System, the next 3 on the Sega Genesis. This is easily the best one out of the 4, still playable today. The rest haven't aged super well. This one also kind of builds upon the mechanics of all the others and wraps up the storyline super nicely. So it's just kind of like this wonderful game if you have any sort of history with the series. If you're brand new to the series, obviously it's going to mean a little bit less to you. But yeah. As it stands right now, this speedrun is mostly glitchless. Mostly. Let's do some quick menuing here. There are actually some minor glitches that occur, but they're not really that big of a deal, and so we'll go ahead and call it glitchless. It's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get going here. We got our hunting partners. We're taking on our first mission together as the dynamic duo, and we're hitting up the school, the academy here, where some monsters are coming out the basement. And we're trying to figure out what's up with that, because usually monsters aren't in civilization, but the principal, as soon as we ask about it, tells us to, like, shut up and do our job. So we're like, alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Everything's fine. We're gonna go ahead and meet our 3rd character already. So we're going so fast, dude. We're filling out the entire party, like, already. Hey, you can like your games all you want. I like, too, a lot. It doesn't mean it's aged well or is fun to play anymore, so let's just watch it, everybody. No one's pooping on anything. But objectively, they have not aged all that well. And you would not pick up Phantasy Star 1 today and be like, yeah! Right, if you had never played it before. But anyway, getting back on target. Let's go ahead and explore the basement. So because there aren't really any tricks to the speedrun for the most part, outside of one specific route, which I'll get into sometime later, we're going to have to do things the old-fashioned way. And we're gonna have to find ways. We're gonna have to find like bare minimums to beat certain portions of the game and find optimal ways to get there. So in the beginning, I'm not gonna really be fighting any encounters because they don't really give me much of anything. And we're gonna hit our first boss here. I tried a little trick. It didn't work at all. But you can technically use the Earth ability to paralyze the boss, and if the boss stays paralyzed, you can actually run away from the fight and save about 30 seconds. It does set you back a little bit of experience and money, but that's easy to make up later. So in the ideal scenario, you would absolutely just run from the boss. But the paralyzed missed, which it often does. You do not, majority of the time, get what we call quick Iggy at all. Nice quote. But yeah, so we're already, 30 seconds back. It's okay. No big deal. As far as I know, nobody resets over missing that trick just because it really just doesn't happen very often. And in a game like this, what's 30 seconds? It just is what it is. The game is pretty well known for its heavy amounts of RNG. Many PB attempts at the highest level You really cut as many corners as you can, and you just go for it. Most times it really just doesn't work out for you at all. But because this is a marathon run, and I don't get to just die 15 minutes into the run and then leave, we will be taking measures to try to mitigate a lot of that RNG. And unfortunately, the best way to do that is to grind out extra levels. And so if you're really trying to do a marathon safe run, there's really no chance of like PBing or recording or anything like that, because you're going to go out of your way to just take forever and gain a handful of extra levels, because it makes things a lot safer. Although we may come to see that despite all my extra safety, I might die anyway. So we'll see what happens. The estimate's fairly generous, so we'll see what happens. It's all good though. But yeah, we've been through a handful of story-based elements there. You're seeing the comic panels come up to kind of add context to the storyline and the cutscenes. This is like the first, if not one of the first, games to really add on to just plain text to give a lot of that extra context. So just kind of a nice step towards full video. Nice ambush, by the way. So we're running into some RNG already, Encounters are going to be encounters. The game, overall, I wouldn't say has a horrific encounter rate. We'll kind of see if I eat my words there, but it's definitely not light on encounters either. And so, of course, it makes perfect common sense that if you're going to get encounters, obviously you want to be able to get away from them right away. And you can either get ambushed, or you can actually fail to run any amount of times as well, and all that stuff's going to waste time. But again, what you're seeing here is, even though I'm really weak, like really weak, I'm not fighting anything. Number one, I really don't have a fast way of killing anything with my current party members. And number two, they're really not worth a whole lot. If I'm going to be fighting encounters, then they need to be worth my while. So we will be fighting encounters soon, just not yet. And we're going to pretty much follow that trend the entire game of like, what's my next objective? I need to go to this dungeon, beat this boss, or whatever it is. And what do I need to do that? And in a PB attempt, like literally what is the bottom line to do that? And in a marathon run, you just kind of add on to that. So, if the bare minimum to do something in a PB attempt is I need to be level 6, then maybe in a safer run you'd be like level 8, level 9, something like that, just to make sure it works out. We're cruising. Now we're going to meet our next party member. You pretty much, for the most part, rock a dang near full party like the entire game. From here on out, we're going to have at least 4 characters for almost the entirety of the game. 5 for most of that, and there's a small portion where we're going to have 3. But for the most part, we're going to be rocking a real solid party here. After this cutscene, we're going to go ahead and do some menuing, and then I'll talk about what I'm doing after. Okay, so first you're seeing in the menu, it's kind of like this long column. You open up or close new windows as you go along, and there's a little bit of lag there. Lots of options for your equipment, your equipping, your techniques, and your statuses, and blah blah blah. One of the most important things that happened there, besides stealing all of Rune's equipment, the character I just got, because this stuff is cool, and he's a beast right now, he really does need equipment. One of the most important things you're going to be seeing a lot in this game are macros. So macros are also very unique to this game, and you're basically able to predetermine and pre-program character actions. You can whatever abilities are available to your characters, you have full access to. Go ahead and be a little bit safer just in case I get ambushed here. Which is really cool. So macros are insanely useful for a few different reasons. Number one, there's combo abilities in this game, and even when you know what 2 or 3 abilities fall into the combo, you have to perform those abilities in a specific order or else they don't combo together. So one way to ensure those macros or those abilities go in the correct order is for you to macro them in place to make sure every single party member goes at a specific turn, and then it's fine. The other reason why macros are super cool is because there's a lot of times you're going to be performing the same actions over and over and over again, like I am right now. Every single battle, I'm having Rune cast Gra and everybody else do nothing. And I could do that anyway. I can manually input everybody's commands every single time, or I can take the time to program the macro real quick and then just use the macro, and I don't have to do that, and I save some time. Not to mention, it could also occur that, like, even if I did manually input everything every time, Rune wouldn't necessarily go first, and then I waste all that kind of time. So there's just a lot of reasons to use them. So what you're seeing now is the first of a great many occasions where before I decide to move on, there's probably some sort of money and or experience requirement that I'm trying to meet before I move on. So in this case, it's more of a money thing. I technically just hit the levels that I want to hit. But because this is a marathon run, I'm down with staying here a little bit and getting a little bit of extra money. But as you can see, you're running into some of the things that are kind of frustrating for the runner. Like when there are times you want to walk through a dungeon with as little encounters as possible, and that's when you get like 4 million. And then there are times you want encounters to grind, and then you get nothing. So after a little bit of shopping, I'll go ahead and answer that question. Otherwise, yeah. And I might have missed a few questions already, to be honest. You can ask them again if I don't get to them. I just want to make sure I get through this buying first. So we're going to go ahead and buy a handful of armor. And then some items. Some teleportation items. These allow me to teleport to any town I've previously been to, and then some escape items. Okay, so we got plenty of money here. And we're going to go ahead and pick up what would be our 5th character, Grizz. But actually, Rune's about to leave, so we'll be back to 4 right after. Okay. Alright, Phantasy Star being compared to Final Fantasy. Let me just go ahead and skip all that. And then, so getting to your question, when I brought up how the run is essentially glitchless, there are a couple of things that play in the game. Most notably, the number one thing that happens in this game that's unavoidable is how the game does not update stats upon level up. You have to actually enter their status or their equipment or reorder the party for stats to update. So you'll be seeing me do that a lot, actually, as people level up to make sure their stats update. Now, there's a little trick from there in a route that only one person uses as of now. Oops. Let me do my menu and shut up for a second. Alright, nice glitch. Anyway, yeah, so, like, it's kind of dumb, right? You put in all this time to level up, and they don't actually even technically level up if you don't do that, which is kind of funny. From there is a route that only one person uses right now that does make use of a bigger glitch. There's a rare drop item from an enemy a little bit from now, maybe like 15-20 minutes from now. That drops an item called the Shadow Blade, which is kind of like, I don't think they word it this way, but it's essentially like what you might know of as like a cursed item. So you equip it and it actually brings down your stats. And if you happen to leave your Chaz low enough level, so in the route he stays at level 4. I think I'm already level 4 right now. He stays at level 4, and then you equip the Shadow Blade, and it drops specifically his mental stat, which is used for his technique damage. to a negative value. And you guys have probably seen enough retro RPG speedruns to know what happens when you underflow. Nice ambush. And so he actually does about 1 billion damage with one. Nice. Zio-han. And that is viable. The number one problem with that is you have to sit and farm for the Shadow Blade for however long that takes. So there's only one dude who like wants to or like enjoys doing that. The other couple of us on the top of the leaderboards are not like super into that. But it's definitely a very reasonable strat, obviously, or else the dude wouldn't have the current record. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that I just put on the wrong thing. I did. But alright. So I guess quick lore update. We been traveling around. We were looking for Han's mentor. He's been turned to stone. We follow a lead about a cure that can cure stone. That's where we go to that Motavian village where we got Grizz. We find the thing. Grizz wants to come with us. Rune leaves. We cure the people. First mission objective done. We saved the stoners. And now we're here. He's a Furby. He's a Motavian. Okay, Motavian. They're from this planet, Motavia. And they look a little different from Parmenians, you know? It's fine. We don't need to be all judgy like that, you know what I'm saying? We're better than that. We're better than that. Alright, Grizz, it's your time to shine, bud. Yeah! Nice. So, runners tend to have a love-hate relationship with Grizz. You know, he would be cool, but the thing about the speedrun is that you can really only beef up characters that are going to be with you all the way through the end, which I'm sorry to spoil for you. Ooh, I need to save it, because I could die here, actually. Let me head back. Spoilers, Grizz is not a final party member, so we won't be using him very much. But that's one of the points where he's, like, very super useful. He's got an ability, Crash, which has the chance of one-shotting a monster type, which has roughly about a 2/3 chance of working. I've definitely had him. He has 7 tries of it, and I've definitely had him miss all 7 multiple times. But for the most part, he'll get it within 3 tries, so it's fine. And now for my favorite song in the game. This is where runs go. This is the first place where runs go to die, unless you're on Shadow Blade route. You definitely want to fight a few encounters here for the money and the experience, but the encounters here are very dangerous. Like, this is very tough robots that I'm like so ridiculously underleveled for that it's not even funny. No thanks. There are some monsters in here too, but I only want the robots. Like this. And it's one of those things. It's an interesting kind of double-edged sword. So you tend to want Grizz to die because he's siphoning up experience I want from my other party members. But at the same time, having another meat shield there is also nice because they can really just kill anybody that they want. So it's just one of those things. But I saved it outside just in case I die a horrible death. Nice, dude. Han, the survivor. The survivor. What a god. What a god. Now, I don't know what my time is, but I feel like this Rika time that I'm about to get is probably going to be pretty solid. Which makes me cry a little, but that's okay. And Grizz is still alive, by the way. That's the world we're living in right now. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. Oh, no! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, well... Okay. Now we're in that... And I didn't buy any safety healing because I'm dumb. Okay, well... Now this is what we're talking about when I am very scared of the biolab. Oh, God. Come on, Chaz. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You got this. Alright, 9 HP, no healing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. One more screen. One more screen. Alright, dude, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yeah, baby. 9 HP solo Chaz. Let's go, dude. If I had gotten ambushed or failed to run, I was dead. Just dead. 19 Rika. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry if you can pick up all these construction noises. It's like my neighbor has been doing stuff for days. And he is pretty good about making sure that he works only when I'm streaming, so I apologize. If it gets to be too much, let me know and I'll just mute myself for a while. But yeah, so the next thing is we've been getting hints of this kind of evil wizard named Zio, who seems to be responsible for these weird things happening to the planet. So that's the next lead we're following, about how we're trying to... Somehow the planet's climate is getting all messed up and stuff, and we want to... That's our next mission, is to deal with that, and it seems like we might have to deal with Zio along the way. And so we meet up with this AI who sends with us Rika here, kind of genetic creation, and she's gonna join our party. And they set us off on the mission of, like, you need to rescue this android Demi. She probably knows how to fix the climate of the planet, and she's been kidnapped by Zio, who you might have to deal with. Spoiler, we're gonna have to deal with him, and that's kind of our next thing. Well, I'm glad you can't hear anything, because I definitely can, and it's annoying. But it's not about me, it's about the viewers, you know? So yeah, and I saw that comment about how I feel at peace. And it's fine, because, like, it's a marathon run. We're here to have fun. We're gonna expect terrible things to happen. This game can be frustrating when you're trying to PB and you have, like, a pretty good one. But, yeah. Everything's fine. Alright, so remember when I said we were very underleveled for the biolab? Well, to hit up Zio's fortress, which is the next overall goal, we are, like, so insanely underleveled, like, it's not even funny. So we're gonna be doing some things to try to catch up. Starting with entering this optional dungeon, the Wreckage. That's not what I wanted to do. That's cool. I erased the wrong macro. Okay. Now, I do want to tell you this is optional content, but in most cases you'd be pretty stupid not to come here. The gear in here is really good. The encounters are also pretty good. Nice miss, Chaz. And then I made the macro wrong, dude. Alright, let's redo that. Plinking is also really easy to do in this game. If you hit a directional input, like to move down the menu, and then, nice ambush. Dude, why is this thing like getting louder? Are you really not hearing this? Anyway, optional content. You'd be dumb not to come here because the gear is so good, and you get this chest for 1500 Meseta and all that jazz, so it's yeah. Okay, that's good, because it's, like, disgusting. Anyway, it's fine, that's the last I'll bring up of it. And even though our main grinding isn't going to happen here, it sets us up for the main grinding, so we'll go ahead and take encounters as they come. I'm not going to farm anything in here, but you definitely want a little bit in here, regardless, to kind of set you up for the next little bit of grinding we're going to do. Because like I said, we're, like, epically behind. This is not a hard game to learn at all. Certainly not beyond just learning any speedrun or RPG speedrun. Like, there aren't really any tricks to the game. Like, there's no, like, tech where you gotta perform this thing that's, like, really hard to do. So it's much more about just knowing the route. That comes with time, obviously, and then just trying to play consistently well. So it's not really hard to do. But, you know, like, if you were to start playing this as a speedrun tomorrow, like, you're not gonna be super good right away, because that's just not how it works, but I wouldn't say it's hard to learn at all, no. We're actually getting a little crunched in here, which is fine, because we're gonna level past where I would normally level anyway, so what's a few extra encounters? It's not really a big deal. I'm probably just gonna go to the end before I grind anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, so as mentioned before, like, I definitely want more levels than I have right now, but we're gonna go ahead and get those in a bit. We're kind of setting ourselves up for the next stage of grinding, which is gonna be slug grinding. And then, to really catch up to levels from there, we're gonna take on a side quest, the Sandworm side quest. So I'm gonna not do the Sandworm yet, but I'm gonna pick up the quests right now, along with the some extra equipment. Go ahead and buy a saber claw. Nice, dude. And a ceramic helm. Yeah, so as far as like what you can control in this game, obviously you can control your menuing, both your accuracy and your speed, which is definitely something you want to work on. Anything you can control in this game, you definitely want to make sure you're good at. And then reactions, making the best decisions possible, and of course, in the fastest amount of time. That's the hard part. That's the part that does not come from following a route. You just kind of have to learn through trial and error what kinds of things you should or shouldn't do in certain situations. And that's what comes with time. But the kind of just bare bones of the speedrun is, you know, it's really simplistic. Just put the saber claw on, put the armor on. Okay, so you have to come through this cave anyway. I will be going through here eventually, but I'm gonna go ahead and go through here now because I want to start running into these encounters, these slug encounters. See ya. And I'm trying not to have anybody soak up the XP, but I'm not going to go out of my way to wait. But that's pretty much perfect. I'm down with that. If Alice lives a little bit, I'm okay with that. So as you can see, once they merge and become Super Slug, like, you get a lot of XP out of it. So that's what we want to do. And I really don't want to leave here until Chaz and Rika are at least level 8. Normally I would just take 2 fights and whatever happens, happens, but again, since we're going for extra safety, I might as well sit here a little bit longer. They only merge when there's 2 of them. Okay. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. Oh, Rika! Rika! No! No. Alright, so we're gonna have to go to the inn and then come back. We would have been 100% fine without those. She missed twice. Even if she had just missed once, we'd be okay. But now we're gonna have to go to the inn and come back in and do it all over again because we saw some bad luck. So this is one of those times where, like, if something like that happened in a PB attempt, my run would be over already. I'd have to restart, and then I probably would have, you know, shouted a lot of obscenities. And yeah, but instead, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, so very few characters actually die in this game. When you've lost all your hit points, you take a different status effect called dying. And when you're dying, your character does not have a full walking animation. You just float like a weirdo. And yeah, that's just pretty much how that goes. Yeah, that's totally fine. So this is probably going to be like a nice epic like 34 Sandworm, like 5 minutes behind my PB. It's going to be awesome. But anyway, let's go ahead and kill another slug. See ya. See ya. Alright. Double level 7? Yeah, we're definitely gonna fight one more. Una mas. So this would be one of those major differences between a PB attempt and a marathon round. Like, the strats are essentially going to be the same. All I'm ever really gonna do on several occasions is just add some extra levels where I would normally be getting levels anyway. Obviously it's slower, but it's much safer, so. So let's go ahead and hit the inn one more time, and then we're off to do our first side quest. Now again, it is a side quest, this is optional content, but we really need fast ways to get experience. And the Sandworm, even though technically obviously we have access to it, we're not really at the level to do it easily, but we are gonna do it anyway. Let me reorder the party, and then, yep. Set up some macros, so let me concentrate for a sec. Oops. And this will also be our first little bit of, like, major XP siphoning. Because, as mentioned before, only certain characters are going to be making it to the end, and those are really the only characters I actually purposefully want to power up. And so the only characters that will be sticking with me to the end are Chaz and Rika. And so we're actually going to be siphoning all the XP from Sandworm to those two characters, which has a number of different effects. So one, it's a better use of your XP for very obvious reasons, because you're not giving it to people who are just going to disappear on you. XP is split between surviving members. So let's say Sandworm, for example, gave 5,000 XP. Then if I had 5 people alive, then each person would get 1,000 XP. But if I have 2 people alive, then those people instead get 2,500 XP. So with people dying, the people who are surviving will get more XP. The other part of that that's important is the fact that party members who leave but will return also gain this XP. So if, for example, my surviving Chaz and Rika were getting 2,500 XP, that also means Rune is going to get 2,500 XP, which is also really important. That also means there's some luck involved here, because at this point in time, I'm happy to have Alice and Han die. They need to die eventually anyway. So you get stuck in a position like this where Sandworm's just about dead. But I can't kill him yet because I need Han and Alice to die first. So for as long as he keeps doing crap like that, where he is not hitting the people I need him to hit, then I just have to sit here and waste time until that happens. So it's just one of those things. There's a little bit of odds games involved. Where you are in the party order determines the likelihood that you get hit. So since Alice was in front, I mean, Grizz was technically in front, but he was dead already. Alice should have had the highest chance to get hit, while Han is in the back and has the lowest. At this point in time, it should still happen in a fairly timely manner, It's almost essentially a 1 for 3 at this point in time, which we're not seeing at all. He hasn't been targeted a single time. And then he finally gets targeted, and then he gets missed. This is another way, again, RNG can just screw you over. Like, you could be on the run of your life, and then be sitting here waiting for Han to die. Hello? He's the dude in white, right over there, dude. Right there. Do you see him? Do you see him? Popped up for just a second. He's right there, right there. See him? Not that one. The one on the right. Your left. There you go. All right. Now we're ready. Now we're good to go. And one of the major reasons you want to pull off Rune's equipment in the very beginning, you get a little bit of money from the equipment, yes, but the main thing is that wood cane that he came equipped with. The wood cane, when used as an item, doubles as a free single target heal. It's a weak heal, but it's a strong enough heal for what I'm dealing with right now. Otherwise, I'd have to sit here with all kinds of healing items that I would have had to farm for a buy. And obviously that's slow. So we got him. And you can see, with only 2 survivors and all that XP funneling to them, they all just went from level 8 to like level 14 or something like that. And that's the fast way to catch up your levels right there. That is the way. Alright, oh no, we're fine. Oh no, we're not fine. Cool. And then we need to figure out what I'm doing. There we go. Massive brain fart. I had like no idea what I wanted to do in that menu. The experience is great. We also want the money. So we definitely want to take the time to turn this quest in. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And now since we already did the walk, we can go ahead and teleport directly there and move on. Yeah, plenty of time. Let's do it. Thanks for all the love. I can really feel it. Really feel it. This is a good time for donations. There's not a lot going on here. We're just kind of progressing through the story. We know that Demi, the android we have to rescue, because she can help fix the climate, is here. That's fine. Let me turn my desktop audio on and you can try again.
Apparently they can't hear me talking from your Discord.
Yeah, I'll turn my thing on, so you should be good to go now.
Oh, okay, I can hear myself now, so we're good. Okay, so go back and reading those 2 donations again. Jonas L77 with the $15 donation. Phantasy Star, what a great game and a great player. I won't even insult Vic this time because I'm a nice guy. And $10 from Lavkian. Give me that pillowcase. Good news is we got 2 pillowcases. One being a Kingdom Hearts and another being a blue slime made by Shala Kitty.
Thanks y'all for the donations. Appreciate the support. And yeah, so we're just here to try to rescue this android. And it's really just a simple walk. You really don't want ambushes because, remember, only 2 of our 5 party members are leveled up for this place, so the others will die very easily. We got decently lucky there. Let me think about what I'm doing here. And all these party members are going to be leaving us pretty soon here, so we're going to go ahead and steal their gear, because we want them to die anyway to keep siphoning experience. And we run into this dude, Juza. It's kind of like a standard little mini-boss, like really nothing to say about it, really. Let's see first. We'll be using some simple buffs, so Saner buffs our agility, which should make sure that we always go before the boss. Shift ups our attack power, because both of our surviving members are, you know, of course, physical damage dealers, so if we can pump them up to do more damage, then that's what we'll do. What I'm doing is I'm using technique attacks with Chaz until he gets shift, and then I'll go ahead and switch to what he was doing. And Juice is actually being really nice right now. He can really spam his AoE attacks heavily, which will take out the 3 middle people really fast. But he hasn't yet, which allows me to pump some healing into my main characters, there you go, without having to waste their turns. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do that now. Because as you can see, we're not, even though we're of level, we're not really, like, that strong still. So, for as long as he keeps AoEing, at least one of my characters are going to have to spend a turn healing instead of dealing damage. And then if he force flashes, which is the worst thing that he can do, rather than, as you can see, in most cases, I'm going to have to waste an entire turn. So this is awesome because he's spamming it, so I have no choice but to sit here and just heal until he decides to not be a little dickhead, which for one turn he managed not to be. So let's go ahead. Okay, that's perfectly reasonable as well. This is one of Zio's henchmen. This is Juza. Just a little simple, standard mini-boss. He's really not special. He should be about dead, maybe up to 3 more rounds. But he's basically there. Maybe Pampagayra is in there. There he goes. So you get 1 level each from there. Like I said, we're not like super behind anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and heal, because there's still 2 screens I can get ambushed and killed in. Again, in a PB attempt, you wouldn't bother, unless you're maybe really low, but whatever. Alright, so we got our next cutscene. Here's Demi. She's a medical android, so she heals us all up right here. And it all seemed way too easy, didn't it? So, must be easy game, easy life. Except, uh-oh, Zio's here. Everybody's favorite goth boy makes an appearance, and he calls upon his god, Dark Force, whoever that is. If you have any knowledge of the series, then you know exactly what it is. Otherwise, it's kind of like the next big thing. Someone more powerful than Zio, like, ooh, no, you know. And the thing about Zio is he has this awesome magic barrier, which makes it so you can't do any damage to him. Well, I guess you can, depending on what the ability is, but it caps out at 1. This is a scripted fight. You are absolutely meant to die. So instead of wasting time with failed attacks, we're just going to try to run away 4 times. And get owned. And Chaz is scripted to take a black wave here so that the cutscene can ensue and Alice takes the bullet. And conventional healing seems to not be working, and she is put out of commission. And we get some sad music here. Sad music. So Alice will be leaving our party, which is why I stole her gear, and also why I didn't give her too much experience. Same with Han, we stole his gear. He will be leaving also to take care of Alice. Grizz will be staying with us, unfortunately. I did steal his armor. I kept his weapon, though, because you don't want him to be completely useless, but I will be selling his armor for money, and because I want him to die anyway. And then we'll be picking up Demi, bringing our party back to 4. And we'll be setting off. We want to follow Rune. He's probably the only one who knows how to deal with Zio. Oops. And the only way to do that is to get a Land Rover. Conveniently, though, because it sounds like there probably aren't a lot of gigantic mechanical tanks that can cross quicksand. There's probably not a lot of those, but coincidentally, there just happens to be one like right here. So lucky us, right? We're free to go follow Rune, because who knew there was a giant machine center beneath the earth, just right south of the town I was in. Like, just talk about luck, dude. So we'll go ahead and step in a square and heal ourselves, because that makes sense. And then, yeah, let's go. We also get some exposition here where we picked up Demi because we know she can try to fix the climate, but she then tells us here that she can fix one of the facilities that's underneath Zio's fortress, but there needs to be another facility to actually fix it in outer space. We still have a job to do, it just won't be the end of the job once we do it, so... I unfortunately accidentally mashed through my favorite line in the game, where Demi is talking about the vehicle, and she says the luster, the massiveness, and you know, I know we're all family friendly here, so I don't know why that's funny to me at all, but it's just kind of funny to me. And then we keep going. So again, if you see me stop in a town and then leave, it's just so I can teleport there later, so you can only go to places you've been to before. And surprisingly, we got 0 in vehicle encounters, which you can get. I would have run from them anyway, like you wouldn't have seen anything special, but yeah. And now we're just gonna sell a bunch of stuff, because we've gotten all this equipment, and we haven't done anything with it except keep it in our inventory. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sell all this junk. Most of it's not worth a whole lot, but it adds up, in all fairness. So like all of Chaz and Rika's gear like 3 times over, and Alice's and Han's gear, and Grizz's armor is all getting sold right now. So that I should end up with around like 20,000-ish. I saved it before this just in case I'm an idiot and sell the wood cane, because you like 100% definitely do not want to do something like that. You need that free healing. So yeah. Or just in case I'm bad at math, but we should be fine. Yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna buy a Psy Mail, 2 Psy Shields. So you may have been able to tell that, like, enemies very often do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Like, a lot of damage. One of the ways to especially help more squishy characters are shields. Shields take up weapon slots, but you can double up on them, so you won't be able to physical attack at all, but you can double up on that defense, and it makes even poor defense characters fairly tanky, or sometimes insanely tanky, depending on who the character is and what the gear is. So that's what we're doing right now. Those Psy Shields are for my boy Rune, who, okay, yeah, here he is, right here. Yeah. And so we tell him what's going on. He says, there's an item here I want to get. If you help me get the item, I'll help you bust up Zio in the face. And everybody goes home happily ever after. So go ahead and do some reordering. Grizz, Demi, Rune, Chaz. Put those shields on Rune. And let's see how long we hear his theme for before we get an encounter. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we do it, dude? Oh my god. Oh! Nice tease, dude. I thought we were gonna make it a whole nother screen, dude. Good times. Good times. I could go down south from there and fight the boss, but we're gonna go ahead and pick up some things that you would get in a PB attempt anyway, unless you were a madman. Which, you know, increasingly as the time goes down, you have to get stupider and stupider, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But as far as speedrunning goes, like, you're not really gonna die in this walk, but you could get a billion encounters and a billion ambushes and a billion failed runs and all that stuff, and obviously that's gonna swing your time. Or you can get a god walk and, you know, make that time up, so, you know, it's good. Okay, blah, 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 everybody is good. So here's our Psycho Wand, the one item that's able to take away Zio's magic barrier. Once we take down the barrier for the thing that takes away barriers, we get ambushed by one of Zio's lackeys, who can possibly troll, but hopefully not. He tends to be simple. Every now and then he is not so nice, so we'll go ahead and see about that. So we're going to put up our standard buffs again. This time we have the addition of Barrier and D-Ban, which ups our magic defense and physical defense respectively. We'll also be using the same standard agility buff as well. And then we're going to slowly but surely kill this dude. The goal being, before he dies, we need to make sure that Grizz and Demi bite the bullet before that happens. Again, to funnel experience to the people who will actually remain with me. So I tend to gauge that with how many double slashes I have, so I'm probably going to play it safe once I'm down to like 1, and then continue on from there. But hopefully before then, they get killed off anyway. The least you could ask for is for him to target Grizz and Demi, even if he doesn't kill them off the bat because he uses Flame Breath instead of his melee. At least he's trying, right? Like, that's typically what you want. Saner suggests they go before the boss. Yes, that is correct. Cool, so after this round of damage, I will go ahead and sit around and wait for the boss to kill Demi before we continue. Wow! Yeah. Remember when I said sometimes the boss occasionally trolls? Remember when I said that? That happened. And we have no way of reviving anybody, so I have to do the whole dungeon over again. Oops, I went the wrong way.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read a donation then.
Yeah.
We got one donation from Kevin Durden, $25. Here's $1 for every HP I think Rika will survive with on Profound Darkness. I think Vic would take it if she survived with 25 health.
I like
this
survival.
towards getting KRDRDN, Kevin Durden, in the name of Final Fantasy IV free enterprise run. Good luck, Vic.
Thanks for the donation, Kevin. Appreciate it, man. So this is one of those things. The luck involved with that is pretty awesome. So, as mentioned before, where you sit in the party affects your likelihood to get hit. So the fact that Chaz is all the way in the back means I got unlucky for him even getting targeted in the first place. From there, the crit that the boss got is actually whatever. He actually crits a lot, like basically all the time. So that's normal. But even though many things are static in this game, HP gains, stat gains, obviously boss HP doesn't change. The variance in terms of especially damage is often very, very high. And so what's funny is that, like, Chaz max had a 101 HP and he crit for 104, which is dang near at the high end of what he can do. And it's kind of ridiculous because, like, you could have seen that same crit, right? And he could have crit for like 70, you know what I mean? And like would not have even been remotely an issue at all. Instead, he crit for 104. So it's just one of those things. Like, I just have to sit here and lose, 5 minutes or whatever, because we got insanely unlucky. Which, if you know me at all, that's the world that I live in. So. Anybody who speedruns this game understands the game is heavy on RNG, so it kind of just is what it is. But as it stands, I tend to have the worst luck out of anybody on the top end of the leaderboard. It just kind of is what it is. So, yeah, unfortunately we lose some time there, but it's not the end of the world. We saved right outside. Unfortunately, there are not any... There are not save points in dungeons, so there's just really no way to make it safer. Mormont has the record. Tyler is in second. I'm in third. Agi fourth. Jaseed fifth. So let's try again. Same strategy. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, I personally did not do anything wrong. It's just sometimes crap happens. And, yeah, it just is what it is. So we're gonna try again. Whoa! What? Oh my god, dude, I have never gotten owned this hard in my life. And I have gotten owned hard in this game. I have never gotten owned this hard. What is going on right now? This is insanity. Oh man. So now I get to do it a third time. This is not like, what's funny is that like there are definitely a handful of places in the run like you would almost kind of expect to have to do 3 times, like, and it's definitely not this place. This is pretty wild. Well, maybe today we get the legendary 420. This could be the day. This could be the legendary 420 day. Let's do it. My plans got canceled anyway, so I got all day now. Wow. I think I've had Chaz get sniped in the entire me speedrun this game maybe 4 times, probably 3. And now it's happened twice in a row today. I can only laugh at this point in time. This is pretty wild. I would really rather not go 3 for 3. Chaz going full Chaz, but you know. I guess we'll find out in a few minutes. Healing in before we get started. Okay, I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with any of my gear or anything, so... I don't know, dude. I don't know. This is, like, not a place you get stuck in at all. This is hilarious. It'll be a lot less hilarious if I die again, but right now it's still funny to me. Let's try again. Oh jeez. Is it already 50-something? That hurts me a lot. That's funny. This is gonna be an epic run. Starting off strong in the first hour.
50-something, it's almost 60-something.
Brutal. Alright, let's do one more round of damage, and then let's do a sit and wait. Alright, that helps. It's not good enough, but it helps. Not him. Not him. Not her either. There we go. Should maybe be 2 more rounds max. Should be close to dead. Yeah, there he goes. Alright, third time's the charm. Forgot we need that. Easy every time, dude. First try. Jeez. No, unfortunately it does not. That's one of the tough parts about donation incentives for this game. There aren't a lot, so... Macro system sets turn order, so as I mentioned before, you'd still want it if you wanted to combo abilities, because you can't guarantee that the characters go in the right order to combo. From there, it's really just a convenience thing, yeah. So even if you weren't in a speed run, if you just don't want to continually put in the same inputs every freaking time, then you'd want to make a macro, yeah. Otherwise, it's for combos. And yeah, we have the original Eris cutscene here. Alice is dead. Zio seems to know you picked up an item that is capable of taking him down, so he doubles down and kills Why did I say... I almost said Chaz. Kills Alice. I guess I wanted Chaz to die. Freudian slip. But she's actually dead. She ain't dying. She dead. She dead. And it's up to us to finish the job, which we will do after we do some shopping, that is. The job can wait. We gotta hit the store real quick to upgrade Rika's equipment by a little. Go ahead and sell Rune's old gear to do so. We'll buy her the same sort of shield that Rune has 2 of, except she will carry 1 of them. And we will go ahead and head out for Zio's Fortress round 2, except not really. Remember, he built his fortress on top of the place we want to get to and put this barrier up. So now that we are equipped, what's up, Felly, to deal with it, we'll go ahead and go on in. We are capable of killing Zio right now. We don't have great ways to kill encounters outside of Rune, and we need Rune's resources. So we will be attempting to skip every encounter here. By skip, I mean just run away. This is a place, again, where you can gain or lose lots of time, based on encounters, because if I get ambushed, of course, that's a loss of time, and if I fail to run, obviously that's a loss of time as well. It's very easy to get stuck in here for a while. It's not an overly long dungeon, but again, with, you know, old school encounter rates, again, it's not like the worst thing ever most times, but yeah. So there's kind of your first example of that. Hopefully we get out here, so, you know, not the worst. But, like, for example, I could have been in that encounter for, like, 6 more rounds, and it wouldn't even be that surprising. So you just never know. You just never know. The main thing with Zio, I may as well talk about him now, because I'll probably not talk much during the fight, is that he busts out a lot of AoE abilities, and you might casually have AoE capability healing, but I most certainly don't right now. And even if you did casually, you're probably not at a level that you can sustain it very well. Point being, it's hard to keep everybody alive. So, we are actually only going to be going through the fight with Rika and Rune alive, because they are the only ones with the defense capable of withstanding a lot of Zio's attacks. And it's not even a matter of sitting and waiting either. Like, guaranteed everybody will die, except for Rika and Rune. I mean, obviously they can die if I'm being stupid, but like, outside of that, I mean, those are their 2 survivors. So it's a relatively simplistic fight of spamming Wood Cane to keep your HP up, and slowly but surely Bichphuong Zio to death with Rune as my only 2 survivors. You're going to try to pump out as much damage as possible in the beginning, but yeah, so let's go ahead and make those macros. Wood Cane, Bichphuong, everybody attacks, because they'll be dead. Double slash, Bichphuong. Oh wait, ooh, glad I caught that. Then we have a kind of all-out attack macro, and then we have our defense macro. So this is another good use of macros right here. Hang on a sec. Let me shut up for a sec. Everybody's HP is fine. Okay. Because you want the Psycho Wand to go first, because that's the thing that's going to take down the barrier. So it's just another good use of the macro to make sure Grizz is the first out of my party members to go, so that I don't end up wasting any turns. Although it's the only time I'm going to use that macro for the most part, like, still absolutely worth my time to make. So enjoy the boss music. I probably won't say too much. Him targeting Chaz first is really bad luck. Chaz will probably die before I can bust out all of his abilities, but actually not. It's like, I don't know if I would call that lucky, but it is what it is. Overall, he's being very, very generous, in all fairness. Oh, nice, I healed the wrong person. Yeah, if you hit a directional input and then you confirm it too soon, it'll actually move the input down twice. So it kind of screws you up. You kind of have to be careful about that when you are trying to go fast. Okay, that should take out everybody else. Oh, Chaz is still alive, so let's go ahead and heal with him. And pretty dang soon we should settle into a rhythm, yeah, so we're fine now. Anytime Rika's at pretty high HP, I'll go ahead and risk not healing, and I'll have her double slash to try to move the fight along a little bit faster. Otherwise, I'm really going to switch between 2 macros, the first being this one. Anytime he AoEs, I apparently made the wrong macro. Man, I'm plinking a lot. That's what's coming down. That's what's coming down to. So never mind. I won't be using too many macros because I put in the wrong ability. Let me make sure this macro is okay. Yeah. So both macros should have been the same. It should have either been the small heal or the big heal with Rune using Bichphuong. which is his ability that's going to do the most damage to Zio right now. So it's in one hand nice that I can go back to my macro because he's spamming individual attacks, but it's actually kind of bad because I will run out of resources eventually. If he keeps doing that. But it is what it is, it's fine. We'll just deal. We'll just deal with some extra inputs. Uh-oh. Okay, everything's fine. Yeah, I try to be reasonable with my estimates now, but, yeah. It's funny because, like, I did, you know, 4 or 5 marathon runs that all came, like, well under 420, and then now I'm finally on the run. I could potentially do it because this time is terrible. Zio's finally dead. So even though he really is a strong boss, unless you're like well leveled. Speedrun wise is very simple. You kind of just beefed up your defense on 2 characters and just slowly but surely you work your way through his HP pool. It's a really simplistic fight at the end of the day. So, man, I barely even want to ask. That was like a 1 hour 15 Zio or something like that, like something terrible.
Actually, it was a 110 Zio.
110, okay.
You had an amazing Zio fight. And I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple of donations, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see, we got a $20 or $25 donation from DSF. $20 to change Tifa's name to The Plot, and $5 to change Eris' name to Dead Girl. Yes, with space and proper capitalization. And $5, Mr. T-Matt. Good luck, Vic. Thanks for running the best, most fair speed run in history.
Yo, thanks y'all for the donations. Every bit of support is appreciated for our girl, RPG Chick. Yeah, keep enjoying the show. So, we lose Demi and Grizz. Grizz doesn't want to go to outer space, and Demi is fixing things. So we're down to 3 party members. This will be the one time we're down to that many or that little. And yeah, we have access to a spaceship now. That's cool. Normally you would take it to progress the game, but again, we want to boost up some XP. So we will be taking another side quest, the Fissure of Fear. Instead of fighting a giant worm, we're gonna fight another giant slug. And we're gonna keep Rune and Rika alive and Chaz dead or dying. It's not that we don't want Chaz with experience, it's just that he can sit behind everybody else and be alright. And more importantly, it gets it slingshots Rune and Rika into levels that give them abilities I so desperately need ASAP. And Chaz will just have to catch up later. It's fine. Here it is. So you're here to rescue a little boy. You have no idea where he is, but you seem to guess at this point in time that he's been absorbed by the giant slug. So it's time to fight it. We're gonna set up our buffing macro to get our defense up just right on time and then attack him. He's got 2,000 hit points, so we're pretty much just gonna run through it. And just, for the most part, let whatever happens happen. Thankfully, Rune didn't die there. So, I don't know if anybody's shocked, but we're seeing some pretty bad luck so far. Okay. Alright, so ideally he'll cell split again this round and then kill Chaz, and then I'll just react as whatever happens. He did not do that. I'll go ahead and hopefully he does it this time. He, of course, once again, does not. There we go. Alright. So what's really important here is that we slingshot Rune to get a revive ability, which you so desperately need. And Rika to get her AoE heal, which you don't as desperately need, but it's still useful. Still useful. Unlike last time, though, in this case, I don't really care about the money, so we're not going to take the time to turn the quest in. It's just another 5,000. Instead, we're much better off just progressing the story at this point in time, so we'll just continue. And we will go ahead and fly to outer space, to the space station Zelen, where our boy Ren is, to figure out what's going on. But of course, before we talk to Ren, we're going to go ahead and raid his equipment, because he's got some good stuff. Good stuff. So let's just kind of recap some of the things you've been seeing so far. Use of macros to try to strategically use combo abilities or just make sure certain things happen in a specific turn rather. You've been seeing me one way or another siphon experience into people who will remain the entire game by killing other people off and taking on either fights in general or optional content to get that experience. And we're just trying to meet some minimum levels to make sure we can actually complete the content that we're doing. Starting from here, the amount of preparation involved is going to increase heavily. Not quite with the dungeon I'm about to do, although by a little bit, but after the dungeon we're about to do, I'm going to be spending a lot of time getting levels. Both because that's what you do in the speed run anyway, but also for extra marathon safety. So the next major dungeon after the one I'm about to do is the Air Castle, and that, I mean, if you've played casually, you know that's a very difficult place to be, and we are so not ready for that. And so it is a large preparation time to get ready for that. And we're gonna then double down on that by taking on even extra levels to really make sure, try to make sure we can do the content. And even then, sadly, there are still no guarantees. So that's just kind of the nature of the game. There are just certain ways, certain bosses, like dungeons for the most part, like, will waste your time. And then a PB attempt, that's bad. The marathon run, kind of just, it is what it is. But for certain bosses, they can just kill you. They'll just kill you. And outside of, like, I'm already going to be doing extra grinding, and outside of really doubling or tripling that extra grinding, there's really no way to really 100% mitigate all of that. And so we're going to have to just kind of live with a come what may attitude here. We're going to, again, add a significant amount of levels to, like, it really shouldn't happen, but, again, you just never know. And we're going to be following that trend for pretty much the rest of the game. Like, in every dungeon I'm in, I'm going to take most encounters just to get to the experience, which you would do in a PB attempt anyway. You would just come in at lower level and finish off your levels by taking encounters. What I'm going to do in a marathon run is get extra levels and then still fight things anyway, to really just keep up that experience building. But yeah, you're gonna see me hit new dungeons, take the encounters, so that I'm always leveling up, both beforehand and within the next content, in an effort to try to make sure we can get through without, like, requiring, like, insane luck only. It's the only way to make this run, like, fairly safe. Unfortunately, is just extra grinding, which would be, I think, its number one weakness. There's just really no way around it, unfortunately. In a PB attempt, you just kind of go and you pray, and it is what it is. But when you're, like, trying to guarantee that you finish the game, you've got to put in a solid amount of time to do so. Anyway, we landed on Dezolis. It's a snowy planet. This is a 3-planet solar system that we know of. Parma gets blown up in one of the older games, so we're down to 2 planets. The desert planet I was just on, and then the snowy planet. As you can see, it also is host to its own species. So instead of Metavians like Grizz, you got Namekians here like my boy Raja, who joins us because we crash land our spaceship in his temple on his home. That's not the order you do that in. And now he's with us. So the thing about Raja is casually, like, he is amazing. He's just an epic healer. Tons of TP, huge healing power, all the healing spell, well, not literally all, but like more than what you've had access to at this point in time, especially with speedrun levels. And he's just amazing. The counterpoint casually is that he is so easy to kill, it's not even funny. But there are ways to work around that, right? Put him in the back, pump him up with shields, like, and that doesn't guarantee anything, but like, yeah. The thing about Raja in our case, though, is, again, he's a temporary party member. He will not be with us the entirety of the game. So, he is not worth pumping experience into, and thus he will spend most of the time with me dead. Or with me trying to get him to get him to be dead, so that I can get experience to everybody else. Yeah, so if you have questions, I'll let you know when we start grinding. And if I happen to miss some questions, which I most certainly did, you can be ready to pump those back out again, because I'll have a lot of time to look at chat basically as soon as this dungeon is over. So as far as the next lore update, nice. Go Raja, go Raja, go Raja. None of you even touched Raja! What? 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 Anyway. So you killed Zio. Demi planted herself in to fix the system. She tells you you need to go to the satellite where Ren is at, though, to really fix things. So you do that, and he tells you there's actually still some problems. He should be able to fix things, but he can't. There's this other satellite, Karan, that's actually messing things up. So you want to go there. You try to take the spaceship there, and you are unsuccessful because some dude sneaks on your ship and sabotages it, which is why you crash land on a Raja's temple. He decides to look past it as long as he gets to come with you on your adventure, which you of course agree to. See you, Raja. And here we are at the satellite, ready to figure out what's going on. So this will be the first of many dungeons to where I'm not necessarily looking for 4,000 encounters, but whatever encounters I do get, if they're worth fighting, then I am most certainly going to fight them. Which is honestly most of the things in here. So I will not sit and do extra farming, probably, unless I get through with the God Walk, then I will sit and do some extra farming, probably, but honestly, yeah, it's just, we're just aiming to get through. In a standard PB attempt, you're fighting battles until you meet your threshold. Your threshold is Chaz hitting level 17, which he's probably going to do pretty soon to learn Githu. Yeah, there it is, which is 100% needed for the boss in this route, and other routes, just not all of them. But again, because this is a marathon run and I want extra levels, then even though I just hit my threshold, and honestly, even in a PB attempt, I'd fight more anyway, just not quite everything. But the point being that I'm gonna fight almost everything anyway, just because, like, well, I'm gonna be fighting everything later. May as well be fighting things now, too. So the only real major point of concern here is that Raja and Rune are the only ones with revive spells right now. And obviously you can see that Raja is kind of busy dying, so obviously I don't have access to his. Which means Rune is my only reviver right now, and if he goes down, then it's a reset. So we'll do our best to keep him essentially at full health the whole time. Just to make sure that nothing happens. Getting pretty beat up, not gonna lie. Nice emote. Yeah, there's a little bit of weird shenanigans when it comes to healing. So there's healing spells, and they actually only work on humanoids. Most healing spells do not work on the androids. So, you know, like for example, Rika has the technique SAR, which was, you know, a light AoE heal, but it actually won't hit Ren at all. Ren does come equipped with his own heal recover that only works on him, but that's kind of annoying when you're trying to AoE heal the whole party and Ren has to heal himself too, so that you lose 2 different party members' actions. You know, it just kind of is what it is. But there's other weird things involved. They tend to be built pretty tough. They always revive right after the battle is over if they were killed. And funny enough, their HP regens as you walk. There's a lot of times where technically Ren has been hurt, but if I feel like his HP is high enough, I'll just ignore it. Yeah, I was gonna get to stuff like that, but you know, it's fine. It's cool, dude. You can steal my thunder. It's not a big deal. I'm just kidding. I don't care. But yeah, there are certain things that get past that will absolutely make use of. Actually, perhaps this dungeon's boss. I'll probably have to use an ability that will hit everybody, including androids. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So in a PV attempt, I'd be actually pretty unhappy with how things are going. I've been kind of beat down by a lot of encounters, but again, since we won 1 billion levels right now anyway, there is no harm in how many encounters I'm getting right now, because we're just going to take a while anyway. You should probably heal yourself too. Yeah, but I can really tell, like, we are very low on TP right now. And one of the awesome things Raja comes equipped with is a skill that allows you to recover TP, which is why I'm like so blatantly using all of mine, because I really don't care. But I mean, yeah, it's still like a indicator of like, wow, I've been fighting a lot of battles right now. And here we are, last room, 0 encounters. So I'm just gonna go through the text before I menu, and then we will start to menu. So the first thing we want to do is reorder our party. We want to put the plasma field on Rika. We want to put a little, we want to put a little bit of gear on you. We want to take some gear off of you, and then put some shields on you. Make some macros real quick. Raja heals everybody. Put a macro for our buffs. We'll put a macro actually to help us wait out, because in this case we want Raja and Rune to die before we kill the boss. And then we will go ahead and bring everybody up. Heal. And everybody's gear is good, I know that. Let's double check our macros. Macros seem good. And let's go. So here we see this thing. Rune seems to know it's Dark Force. Alright, cool. And our belief now is that if we kill it, it will solve all of our problems, and the game is over. So let's go ahead and get our buffs up with macro C. We want to see both defensive buffs up before the boss goes if we can. Did not happen. We immediately lose Rune, which is a time slower, but it's possibly okay. Let's just go on without him. We lose a fair bit of damage this way, but it is what it is. It's pretty hard to get people up, so if he keeps AoEing. Yep, so here's the healing ability that I mentioned that will hit androids as well. We just had to use it right away. Okay, that's fine. This is round 4. Although I'll be off on damage a little bit. That's fine. Okay, I'm gonna go one more round. And then I'm gonna wait out Raj's death, and then we will continue killing the boss. Well, that's fine, actually. Gyres, recover, defend. Okay, so defend. Let's just have you keep healing. Defend. Oh, no, I should not have done that. I am stupid. I am an idiot. I did not think that through at all. It's fine. We'll just have to keep waiting this out. It is what it is. We're not in any danger. It's just obviously taking some time. I don't know when he'll use the attack, but one more attack, AoE attack, or a flare shot to Raja will do it. I said a flare shot to Raja. Are you listening? Are you listening to me, dude? He's got 15 measly hit points. Alright, there we go. Alright, there he goes. So, pretty rough fight. Based on two things. Him immediately killing Rune is bad RNG, and then IA also healed Raj on accident, made it take another extra 3 rounds or something like that, so it is what it is. So you kill him, you feel like you fixed the mistake, and what we learn is that it doesn't fix the storms on Dezolis at all. And Raja has been saying, actually, it's this evil place called Garubik Tower. No one's really believed him because he says stupid things all the time and makes bad puns. Basically the same thing. I was redundant there. And now it's like, okay, well, clearly that was the move all along, so let's get ready to go there. Sort of. This game's on the Sega Genesis. Alright, let's see. Raja and take your stuff off. your stuff back on. You're fine. I ordered it all wrong. Raja ran into the chest. Okay. And so let's go. What we're gonna do is start some of the story advancement, and then we're gonna go grind a little bit. Then we're gonna continue the story advancement, and then we're gonna grind. That's kind of the gist of what's gonna happen here. So now we have the ice digger. It can drill us through the ice, so we can actually traverse the entire planet now, instead of being stuck where we were. Gonna make a stop here. We'll be back here later, but then we're just gonna keep going. Let's go ahead and fight that for no reason. Yo, current runners, K-Shura and Silverfire. Let's go. I didn't know they picked up Phantasy Star 4. Can I leave? Thank you. So, as mentioned before, and let me double check, we don't want Raja gaining experience because he's gonna leave, and I could just go to the next dungeon and just wait for him to die and hope he dies fast, or I could advance through the cutscenes and actually just have them storyline leave our party, and then all of a sudden it's not an issue, like, at all. So even though they're telling me to go check out these trees to save someone, you know what? Like, I'm cool. I'm gonna go somewhere else and grind for a little bit. I'll see ya. I don't want no fifth party member right now. You would absolutely go through this dungeon no matter what, but we will be spending some extra time here because there's a really good weapon in here. So yeah, you definitely want to do that. But instead of walking through and whatever battles happen and then leaving, I'm gonna probably just sit here until I damn near run out of resources. Killing resources, that is. And so if you got questions about the run, now is the time to ask, because I'll be fighting stuff for a while. I like these moles, especially when they ambush you, because their attack animations take about 6 years each. So, you said for a while. I said about the run, please. Please. Look at this guy, trying to cheat the system. So I'm sorry, I was kind of like talking my butt off for a while and then trying to vaguely concentrate on the on the game. So I really wasn't looking at chat like that much. So if I missed your questions about the run, please feel free to ask me again and I'll get back to you. If you want to troll, you have every right to do so, but I probably won't answer you, so just, keep that in mind. Please stop killing me. I want to live! Oh! And that happens. And then that happens. And we can maybe change it in an AMA later, but not right now. I'm a private person, dude. Private. Who's your favorite character in the run and why is it Grizz? Well, first of all, sexual intercourse with Grizz. I don't like that guy. Second of all, Grizz is pretty tanky, so he's cool. That's fine. Can you explain Avogadro's number? I said about the run, dude. Come on. It's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And that's how many atoms of something exist in a mole. Please, come on. Anybody knows that, dude. Which boss makes me clench my cheeks the hardest? Profound Darkness 3. Why don't I take Raja to the edge? Because I'm not dumb. I mean, I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. What is the most useless spell in all of Phantasy Star 4? That's a great question. And honestly, I don't even know. It doesn't. I guess I should make it clear what questions I'm addressing. I don't even know. There's a number of them, like... But, you know. I don't know. I don't really have an answer. How do you account for canceling Megid? You really don't, outside of higher levels, to make it more likely that Ren will outspeed the boss, but there's really no guarantee outside of even more levels. Yeah, so there's some new work being done on the game right now. You might have noticed the glitched out menu I had going into the Tenno basement. So there's a similar outcome where basically you can enter some glitched menus and perhaps save where you can't, or where you're not supposed to save. That in itself doesn't really do anything anyway, even if you could consistently do it. But you can seemingly glitch some items in your inventory, which may or may not be useful. But right now the game seems to lock up after you do it. So that's what Starbird's talking about. Oh my god. Why? What is this luck, dude? Stop killing Chaz! He's the one who needs the XP, stupids. You're being stupid, game. Oh boy. So I'm probably still on Discord, but I think I'm gonna disconnect off of OBS or Twitch. That might be happening. Huh, seemed to be good. I don't really know. I do hope something comes out of it. I want...
I haven't disconnected, but you did have some freeze frames.
Yeah. I want the game's time to go down by a lot. I mean, you always want every speed game to improve, right? So I want something to come out of it. And if it so happens to be so broken it becomes its own category, then so be it. But I want cool stuff to happen. So I'm definitely cool with that that glitch doing something. How did Seth become such a nice guy? You don't get a mustache like that without being legit, so... How many atoms in a hungry mole? Still 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Why is Chaz such a wimp? I think bad parenting. I think he got too many participation trophies, and yeah. Well, that answers both of your questions. Magus rolling in with the raid. Good stuff. Yeah, that's fair. I guess I was thinking more of PB attempt. But yeah, it would make marathon settings better, for sure. As long as you could do it in dangerous places. Alright, what kind of messed up levels do we got? Let's do one more for the road. Because everybody loves grinding. So for Magus's big raid, I want to reward this awesome raid with more grinding. No, considering I'm like a half hour behind my PB already, no, I don't think we'll be doing much of anything here. Let's go ahead and leave this place. Let's talk to this giant talking cat and get a silver tusk claw, which is weak or strong against evil creatures. And turns out many of what we fight are pretty evil. So you know, yeah. And now we're ready to go on. So now we'll go ahead and find that girl being attacked by carnivorous trees after we fight this thing. I think I missed some questions here. I couldn't possibly answer what makes this game stand out other than awesome graphics, good sounds, different setting, like sci-fi setting, but I really can't speak to that. Why is Sandworm Sandworm? Well, when two sandworms love each other very much, they will slide along one another and line up their cloacas. If you don't know what a cloaca is, it's a hole that someone or animals both pee, poop, and, in a lack of a better term, ejaculate out of. And so they'll come together and do that, and then a new sandworm is born. Now, sometimes when a new individual is created, mistakes can be made writing the organism's DNA, leading to mutation. And most mutations are not are inconsequential, but sometimes they can result in some crazy things. And so with said mutation, Sandworm got this very scientific newly discovered disease that's called being a dick, and yeah, that's what happened. I hope that answers your question. Please let me know if you have any questions. See me during lunchtime. Poor innocent ears. I didn't say anything inappropriate. There was nothing inappropriate that was said, which is impressive because it's me, and I don't know how to not be inappropriate. I think I have the recessive gene for that. Yeah, you might. When you only carry the recessive allele, aka being a carrier, then you're kind of like in a midway point between like nice person and full-on dick, so we call that a semi. Whoa, just a semi. You don't have to add your inappropriate adjectives. You're turning my science into things inappropriate. I don't appreciate that. See, look at all these people, high spirits. It wasn't me, dude. It wasn't me. I didn't do or say anything. I just want to be very clear about this, okay? I didn't do anything. What? Foy, flare, double slash.
I'm pretty sure a chemist teacher just tried to tell us about biology.
Hey, I'm a biology teacher. And a human physiology teacher, and a chemistry teacher. So, yeah. Plasma claw, right? Yep. Darn good teacher. Let's not take things too far. You guys don't know anything about me. Okay. Alright, I gotta sell, like, all kinds of things. What did I just sell? Hopefully something not bad. Yeah, everything's fine. And my Wood King's in the wrong spot, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ditch it completely. So we just sold a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna buy a bunch of Trimates, which are single target healing, very strong. I bought like 8 of them just now. So I have some extra money from the extra grinding, and then we're gonna buy some gear. Ren, Kira, and Rune are good to go for the most part, at least as far as what I'm gonna buy. But we're gonna buy new pieces of armor for Chaz and Rika and a new sword for Chaz. If you think you're gonna go into the next dungeons without hot gear, then you are sorely mistaken. Oops. Yes. Man, I have some chat to catch up on once I start doing things. Okay, so the plan was to go to Garubik Tower. We have to get through those trees to do so, so we're going here to get a torch to do that. What will happen is the torch is going to get stolen by some old enemies from Phantasy Star 1, which sends you into this giant detour to go to the Air Castle, a dungeon you have to actually do twice, and whose bosses are terrible and mean. And, yeah, and it'll take forever. So that's kind of where we're at right now. There's your lore update. All of my art was good, free kill. I'm upset. How many teachers is Marathon sponsor? One. Back alley Bichphuongballz, also true. I'm a good parent to Starbird, sounds good. I do teach anatomy. I got my degree from McDonald's U. Yeah, that's kind of true. We are definitely not going to the Air Castle yet, but I would like to heal, and I forgot.
Hey, I got a donation that might be for you, Bick. How about...
Yeah.
Can you hear me, by the way, Bick?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm cool whenever.
Okay. Well, I can't hear you on Discord, so I can only hear you on stream. So, okay, $10 donation from Flexel. Put this towards naming a Demon Chocobo on. Okay, I guess we're gonna turn Demon Chocobo on. Wait. Okay, we can do that. And good luck on Impossible Video Game. May the accidental Hinases be few and the final battle Rika HP be many.
Thank you very much, Adam. Appreciate it. Yeah, so this is our next point. Nothing I've done would be skipped in a PB attempt. The major thing that's changing is how much time, and thus how many levels I'm about to be getting from these places. So again, we're gonna spend some time in here for sure. Much like last time, I'm gonna fight till most of my resources are gone, and then we'll go ahead and do that. You know, I used to feel pretty bad about not having too many incentives for this game, although the amount of incentives is increasing steadily. But, yo, I got my turn order interrupted. Awesome. Yeah, so normally in the Mist Vale, you'd fight whatever encounters you got. You might farm some extra if you needed to, but you really would just walk through, get the Silver Tusk, leave, and whatever encounters you got is what you got. In this case, we're still going to do those things. We're still going to get the Silver Tusk we already got the Silver Tusk, I should say. And then, and here we would get Ren's gear and maybe farm a little extra if I had to. And we'll do that again, but we're just going to sit here and fight everything to make sure that we are properly prepared for the upcoming content. Everything but 100% incentive, man. I'm not doing that. Well, I would not push for it. I would accept it. I would still do it for the good of the run, but I wouldn't want it. It's funny you say that because kind of not really. Because in a 100% run, instead of grinding, you just do more dungeons and you just end up with the same amount of levels. So it doesn't really change that much. But I guess. In some ways, you would really end up doing the same thing, sort of. I think it would just be a lot less, like, prominent. Like, y'all can very much tell, like, boy, am I taking my time fighting a billion counters, you know what I mean? And in 100%, you would still want to take some extra safeties, for sure, but you're doing so much more content, I think you could spread it out more. And it wouldn't look as bad, but like it wouldn't honestly change like that much. Plinks are real. Why are y'all so slow? Why are y'all so slow, dude? I'm higher level than ever before, dude. And I'm going slower than usual. I mean, life deleters, if I let them do anything, they would pump out some good damage, so you just don't let them do anything. the aesthetic is like so cool. It's so different. And looks great, animates great, sounds great. The game is just very well put together. Nice ambush. You really just wish it wasn't quite as much of a pain to try to PB in, you know? Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. What the heck kind of turn order is that? What the hell? What the hell is that? I used air slash on accident. It's probably not gonna matter. It didn't. Alright, let's get out so I can save. What kind of beastly levels am I at? 23? Alright. Yeah, pretty much what you can definitely like very safely do. Grizz or Kira and Raja, just with a lot of extra grinding. Han's kind of whack, but you can probably, well, I mean, it's not a probably, but like, it's still a lower tier, I would say. And then Demi is just like, yeah, it's not happening. Not happening. Alright, y'all. We're gonna head out after one more fight. One more, I promise. I promise we're out of here. I know we've been here a while. Okay, we got one last stop to make here. We're gonna buy a flame sword. And I'll do a little bit of selling too, because I'm here. But... Excuse me, I burped. I apologize. You wouldn't, like, if you're at a marathon where you're using an incentive to bring anyone not Kira, you're gonna do extra grinding. Like, you can't even say you don't need it, because you do need it. Even if it weren't for him, like, specifically, like, you do need it, so you're still gonna extra grind him regardless. Alright, we got the air castle. I will be fighting most things. Some things are just hard to run from anyway, but under normal circumstances, you'd be fighting a lot of things through here to get the levels you need anyway. I forgot my macros again. Wonderful. Alright, well, let's just be stupid and do things. I always forget my macros here. I also forgot Flaily by itself won't kill. because I never use it. But it's cool, dude. It's cool. Let's make macros now. Blah, 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 blah. What am I doing? That. That. And then that. Boom. Okay. Yeah, it's exactly why it's called Blade Right. You got it. I'm proud of you. Powers of deduction. That probably came off really snarky, but you did get it. So the main thing is that those stone heads are like not particularly great, but they are like super hard to run from, so you end up fighting them. It just was a large waste of time. Thanks for the corrosion. Someone was hurt, right? So you might be able to notice the encounters here are not like worth a lot. So I'm fighting stuff. I really don't want to fight a ton of crap. You know, I want most, especially here when I'm over leveling, I want most of the fights to be in those other places where you actually get solid XP. I'll just do what everybody else does and blame Woolsey. Even though he has nothing to do with it. You're Blade Right. Oh my god. Someone ban that guy, dude. I know it's not my channel, but come on. Come on. Could you imagine 4 Chazes and a Demi? That sounds awful. Oh, dude, get wrecked. Thank you, whoever did that. I appreciate you. What I don't appreciate are puns. Alright? Oh! I did it again, dude! That's what I get for banning that dude, dude. Oh my god. Not again, dude. The karma.
Flexel called it. I just want to say that.
Oh no, dude. $420. This is it. This is the 420. This is the 420.
This isn't questing for glory, okay? I just want to point that out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I did it again. I don't know how I did it. I was too busy yakking away, so I can't even trace what I did outside of, like, clearly I went to Heinous. But, like, I didn't even want to go to Rune. So, most likely I plinked to Rune, trying to go to Rika, and I hit the top spell because if I had hit Rika, the top spell is her healing spell, and then I left the dungeon. That's what I did. I put it all together. I'm an idiot. I'm very sorry. This is probably why people get other people to commentate their runs for them, so they don't do stupid things like this. That being said, I'm doing this by myself. I can do it myself. How much will I donate for each Heinous? Yes. Okay, Lavitz, that one's not even, like, actually good at all. That's, like, actually bad. Yeah, 99% speedrun. I mean, it was still glitchless. Oh wait, did you fight Ifrit? That was an incentive, right? I mean, that's why Dusler was on my couch. It's not like he was adding commentary. Yeah, alright. There's no point in calling out my stupid stuff after it happens, because I've already done it. I need you to call me out on it before it happens. I need you to see the future. I honestly don't remember where I Henist out. That's why I've been running from most things, but I should start fighting things eventually. Throwing a real wrench. Come on, you guys aren't even trying, dude. Where are my void subs at, dude? Come on. Your vision of the future. Alright, well. I trust you. That's why we're gonna be a level a billion and still die. No. Ooh. No math. You know, I've never once... Jeez. Learn to talk, bud. I never once cared about modship until this very moment. Right now. How does Witch Fight work? Keep me on track here. Yeah, once. Can you believe I'm from this country that speaks English? Never listen to Bowie about anything, dude. Bowie actually doesn't know anything. Well, each claw slashes twice. So you doubling the amount of slashing that you're doing. For the fat loots! Oh my god, it's Lutz, by the way. I hate you. Obviously, I don't actually hate you. I hate what you said. She doesn't slash every target with double slash. She slashes every target with disrupt. Come on. Come on. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. No. It is, like, probably the worst run I've ever experienced in my life, dude. Oh, did they actually up it to 420? Sketch is back. What you talking about? Can't escape. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my bad. Alright, so here is one of the walls that ideally I have out-leveled. Only time will tell, but, yeah. How's my health? Great. The triplets, they're really simple. We're gonna survive with Rika only, but we just really need this freaking barrier right now. Alright, okay. We have the barrier, because we're level 1 billion. Got him. So what is that, like a 215 triplets, dude? 225, because I'm terrible?
In between? It was a 218.
Alright. Whew. Nice. So yeah, we are past the half hour. Wonderful. Alright, so we're not done. We do gotta go back, but we'll go ahead and save, because again, there's no save points on the inside. So the first round is getting to the triplets, getting some treasure, getting some levels. The triplets are really simple. You can manipulate their tri-attack as long as you hit them with an AoE. They'll respond with an AoE. Between having barrier up and the plasma field equipped, Rika will only take 1 damage, so you make use of that, leaving her the only one alive. And then you just slowly whittle them down with AoE attacks from there. And then they're a piece of cake. So typically the only thing that's going to go wrong there is if they get to go a bunch of times before you get the barrier up, then you're probably going to wipe. Otherwise, nice, Warla's good. Yeah. And then Rika gets 1 billion levels. I'm loving this inability to run right now. It's really great. I also like taking 1 billion damage, because I like menuing forever, so I really appreciate all of this happening right now. Thank you, game. Thank you. I know things were going really well, so slow me down a little, please. Anyway, now that I've got that out of my system, now we make a return trip to the air castle's basement, because now we're heading for the big boss, Sheik, who is a villain, a major villain from the very first Phantasy Star. In fact, the air castle is a dungeon in the very first Phantasy Star. And this basement trip is actually a complete reproduction of the dungeon in the first game as well. The first game was a corridor dungeon game, so that's why everything's a hallway right now. I think that's the nice touch. Overall, not the hugest fan of the whole segment, both because speedrun-wise it's a huge RNG swing, but also because, like, I don't know, it kind of kills some momentum, I think. Like, you're really going for Gurubik Tower, which is a big dungeon as well. And it's like, huh, JK, because you gotta do this big old castle first. That's impossible. And then you're like, dang, okay. The good news is that I'm almost at the same level as I would be 3 bosses from now. Sure is something. I mean, for its time, it was amazing. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the run, before I got pooped on by everybody, it was that, yeah, it's just didn't age super great. Kind of a rough play now. Nice try, mate. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Old RPGs are just kinda bad. I think FF1 is sick once you get past, like, Marsh Cave Astos. Like, pre-Marsh Cave Astos is, like, actual purgatory. But I feel like it's smooth sailing from there, pretty much. Yeah. Yes. I tried to get an Atrian, but if you weren't clear about me, I got a pretty major problem when it comes to that game, is that I'm dumb. So that doesn't really work out well. Nice D-Van. Nice double air slash that we actually all lived through somehow. I really should not have taken this encounter at all. But it did give me a trimate. I like trimates. Yeah. 2 is definitely pretty hard. Alright, yeah, oh, flame sword. Okay, got a lot of macros to make here, so bear with me, please. What do I want here? I want Hugh. Okay. So let's get ready for Sheik. Sheik is a pretty rough fight as well. Lots of AoE. Very much what we refer to often as a DPS race. You just want to kill him before you run out of resources and he kills you. Again, though, there's a major thing that needs to happen. I need to get my defenses up before he goes. Otherwise, we're just going to try to go all out pretty much the whole time and then hope for the best. So let's go. Barrier. Boom. Okay. In there. Great. In there. I love how we are basically doing the same amount of damage, though. It's definitely a cool fight, because it's very nerve-wracking. Like I said, it's just like, it's him or you, right? Him or you, him or you. And you just legitimately just have to go for it. And that can be a cool feeling. Other times, though, it's just like, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Recover, default, summer, swift out. This is not a great fight so far. Outside of getting the initial buffs up, this has actually been pretty awful. Yeah, Arouse. Such a great name. I mean, it's one of the few names that makes sense. But it's just hilarious. Yeah, so more of what you want to see are the Thunder Halberds or whatever they are. It's the lesser damage one. Another gate. Even at, I don't know, at my levels may still be able to Geestar through it, but it does way the heck more damage, so... Oh dear. Please stop that. Yeah. So unfortunately, I think we are all out of Stardews. We might have one more. But this has not really been a good fight at all. In all honesty. We lost a lot of damage when he put... Like, I knew I wasn't gonna, like, die or anything, but we lost a lot of damage when he put Chaz to sleep like that. So that's kind of unfortunate. So he reinforces, which ups everything. But what I never knew casually is that the Psycho Wand also works on him and not just Zio. I literally thought it was just a Zio thing. So you can debuff that reinforce as well and make sure that he doesn't get too strong on you. So I wasn't really worried about it, but it definitely was a slow fight. Like, that was a slow fight. This game is not very hard. Like, it definitely can feel that way, because you're probably going to approach it very similar to a speedrun and just kind of keep going for as long as you can. And you will hit a wall, for sure. But you spend some time leveling, and especially if you know where to level, then basically like what I've done. And you will overpower everything, and it'll be fine. So I wouldn't really say it's hard. Like, grinding definitely solves, and you don't have to do it like a lot either. Like, it's not like that bad. Not like the other ones. Okay, so remember that detour was for the Eclipse Torch. They stole it, so you had to do an entire dungeon twice. I've died at this encounter before, so I will go ahead and fight it. It's like even when you're in like the mid or high 30s, like you'll just like destroy the endgame like completely, you know what I mean? And that's not exactly like a super high level, to be honest. This is a pretty brutal dungeon too, time-wise. You can get bogged down in a great many encounters. Some can be dangerous, some are just really time-consuming. And the boss fight is no joke. But since we're well prepared, we're just gonna slowly but surely fight through stuff. Nope. Nope. Nice glitch, and then you want to put that back on. Forgot about that. I honestly don't know. PD3 will be up there, but probably not the top because I have to actually get that far, which I often don't. So it's like Sandworm will definitely be up there. Dark Force 2 is definitely up there. And then probably a split between Triplets or Sheik. I mean, I guess technically he's not a boss, but he's a boss. Yeah. I agree with the whole, like, if you fight everything, you're probably okay. And even if you're not, like, it's not a whole lot extra from there. Few pit stops to make in this dungeon. We made one already. It was for the POW shield. The POW shield is kind of whatever, but it casts shift as an item, which ups your attack power, which is super awesome. So that's a great item to have. And then there's a couple of areas here where I can replace Stardews as well. Power punch my Vohio hole. Interesting. What an interesting raid. Whatever could they be referring to? I don't know. But thank you for the raid, Ryu Quetzalcoatl. I have played Phantasy Star Online, yeah. A lot, actually. I had it on the Dreamcast. Back when I was still on dial-up. And I played that game a crap ton. And Part 2. Never got into Part 3 and never revisited anything else from there. So in knowing that I'm somewhere probably like 35 minutes behind my PB, I'm actually like not that disgusted by it. Honestly, As long as you take out the whole, like, losing 10 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever in Ladea Tower, then that's not, like, too terrible. And if you take out the heinous... if you take all that out, that's like 10 minutes off, and that's like not the worst. But, yeah, I'm bad.
Hey, how about a quick donation here?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got $25 from Paradox TXS. It's great to see the community come together like this. Everyone's having fun for a good cause. Of course we're having fun. Just ask Vic. He's having a blast right now.
I'm definitely having fun. So, like, if you follow me, and I really don't mean for that to sound like a plug at all. I don't. That's not like how I am. But like, you know, I've been playing this game, trying to PB in it for like the last month and a half, and it has not been going well, like, at all. And so it's actually kind of nice, despite how things have gone in this marathon run so far. Like, it's nice to play the game because I legitimately like this game. So it's nice to play the game with like minimal stakes for me, and I just don't really have to care about what's going on. I'm just trying my best, and I made a couple of boo-boos, and I also got like owned harder in Ladea Tower than I ever have before. But it's been good. It's been good. I hope you all have been having fun. I have time to look at chat because I'm probably going to be in this encounter for like 14 minutes, but yeah. Nope, I actually got out right away. Yeah, I mean, it's not like there were a ton of MMOs at the time, so that was one of my first MMOs, and I was super into it for sure. PSO, that is. Nice miss. Nice miss. Nice miss. Ending skip. That would be pretty funny. I have done it in one marathon. I can't remember what it was. It might have been Bring 'Em Over, but that was funny. The problem is that, like, some encounters, such as this one, just have a really high run difficulty, so even at my level, like, it doesn't mean a whole lot. But then a lot of the other encounters that are, like, solid at lower level, I'm probably going to get away from. It's a demon tower. That kind of simulates like the inside of a body, I guess. I mean, you're inside of a tree, technically, I guess, so... That might not be real lore, though. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the name. ERK, I believe. But, okay, let's make some macros in preparation. So this boss is typically a lot simpler. doesn't do any physical abilities. So you really change your macros to just deal with a single target heal and attack. Well, he can AoE with Light Shower, and we have the same AoE macro for that. Oh, I did this wrong. You want to add the POW shield buff to Chaz. You definitely want that bad boy. And then let's make sure Rika has the correct gear. She does. Okay. So we should be good to go. Still want that barrier right away. But from there, hopefully he single targets Ren and Kira a lot. And we can pump out a lot of damage. Minimal light showers. Minimal single targeting like Chaz or Rune. We'll be in there. So that's perfect, basically. Yeah, you flare. Total brain fart there. You try and mate yourself. You need to POW shield. Let's go ahead and tangle real quick. Rika's the one who does tons of damage here when she's powered up, so... Unfortunately, she's also the AoE healer. So if he AoEs me, she doesn't get to attack, but the more he does things like that I can absolutely handle, then we can pump out some good damage. As you can see, she's gonna bust out 368. That's really good. It's more than everybody else by a substantial margin. Light showers we're fairly equipped for, it's fine. The main thing is I'll run out of TP eventually. So you don't want to see too many of those, or else we'll have to start dipping into Stardew's, and we don't really want to do that either. So I kind of just got done saying you shouldn't spam that Dark Force 2, but yeah. And so this is kind of like the big trip of the game as far as lore update, where it's like you defeated Dark Force, you thought you were cool, and you knew you had to solve the problem here at this tower. That sucks. Oh, he actually lived. Nice. That's very rare. But again, I am over-leveled, so that's why that was actually possible in the first place. But now there's a second one, which has never happened before, so it's like, dang, that's crazy. So there must be more going on than we initially thought. This game is, I don't know if I want to say good at that, because maybe that's not a good thing. But it is, like, it does it across the entire game, where it's like, here's the big problem. Oh, you solved the big problem? Well, here's actually the thing behind that big problem, which is an even bigger problem. Oh, you solved that problem? Well, here's an even bigger thing. That's a bigger problem. That was the cause of those other big problems. And you're just like, okay. Okay, game. I get it. Basically, we're getting the Dark Force 2 I wish I had in a PB attempt. Yeah, you know, like, it's not like I had any problems with it casually. It's just something, like, when I started speedrunning and watching speedruns of it again, it was just like, oh wow, this sure does happen a lot. You know? I'm not, I didn't mean that in, like a hating way. Got him. Alright, so normally we would prepare for the next boss just by dipping into a new dungeon, leveling up, and then moving on, but instead I'm going to actually take the quest to open up the entire dungeon for marathon safety. It isn't really for extra grinding, although it'll obviously result in that. But the gear you get out of it, you normally skip, but it's good Ren gear, so, like, why wouldn't I take it? So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm also going to do something different from a marathon attempt, in that I'm going to restock Stardew's early. And so what you saw at the end of the cutscene is, like, everybody's cool, and then the Gumbius Temple just blows up, and you're just like, oh, maybe everything's not cool. You might have been a little wrong about that. go ahead and go with that. That's fine. That's plenty. I was not supposed to go here yet. I'm supposed to go here. I guess I'll heal. That's fair, Seth. And you get a bunch of exposition here where they have some legend about Rykros that will help you like defeat evil forever. They don't know what it is or where it is, but they know you should find this arrow prism which leads the way. So you go back to Motavia where you get your third vehicle, the one that can traverse water, and then you're supposed to go to the Soldier's Temple and find the arrow prism so that you know what to do. But again, because we have some catching up we need to do, we are actually going to hit a side quest instead. In a PB attempt, you would not take the time to open up the side quest, and there's actually something you have to do before you even get to go to the dungeon, so all of that takes time. You wouldn't even have bought the Stardew's that I bought, but because we want some extra safety, it's good. It's a good idea to get Ren's gear, in my opinion. Makes him very beastly, so we'll turn in that slug mission right now. Normally you would just leave it, and then we'll go ahead and take the last mission. We're not going to complete the last mission. It's actually kind of not... It's not free, and there's a time thing with it as well, but like... Yeah, we just want it open so we can hit the dungeon. I wonder if I even remember the dungeon anymore at this point. It's been so long. So like all of this would just be like extra time you're losing. You would not bother, for sure. Okay. Let's do some work. So, Plasma Field, Gigra, Attack, Air, nope, Air Slash, Disrupt, oops. Yeah, I mean, the main thing to note is how completely, like, this game wraps up that original series, so it's kind of like, how do you even jump into that? Okay. This place can actually be pretty dangerous, so... like... we just gotta hope we don't get, like, thoroughly trolled. But I don't expect to do any, like, extra farming, just... theoretically fighting things along the way, because we're going to be completing most of the dungeon should be enough, theoretically. Let's handle this. Oh my god. Is that my speed hero, Pidge01, watching my marathon run? What an honor. What an honor. I can't even believe it. I'm so nervous right now. So the first item we're going to pick up is a new gun. It's a single target gun, so we actually won't be messing with it at all until the very end. It often does at least as much as Flare does, and occasionally more. So it's kind of the better use, not to mention you only have so many flares, right? So it's nice to have. And then we're gonna get some armor for him as well. Nice estimate, yes. This is where I want to go. Boy, did it. Boy, did it. That sucks. Alright, Ren, I need you to hit. Ren, I said you needed to hit, bud. Okay. Spark. Double slash. Crosscut. Okay. Yeah, we're probably gonna be fine. Gonna use old Rimpa, because obviously Rimpa is the name for a de-paralyzing spell, am I right? Am I right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Rimpa, dude. You ever have someone like momentarily can't move their leg and you just Rimpa that stuff, you know? Just Rimpa. Easy. Yeah? Yeah? Rimpa. Am I sure it's not Heinous? You know, Heinous is a pretty great spell, but I don't think it's quite that multi-purpose. I could be wrong about that, however. I mean, what do I know, really? I tried to run, because I'm dumb. But it's okay. Everything's fine. We're almost done. Getting some free encounters as well. It's called Blaze It. Alright. Yep, perfect. Let's use Heinous, because Heinous is such a great ability, dude. Why wouldn't you just use it all the time? Dude, aren't I like at 3 hours like right now, dude? Please. Don't give me that. Don't give me that crap. And now we meet our boy, Seth. He's got a mustache and a headband, and a haircut from 40 years ago. And he's an archaeologist, and he wants to go through the same caves that we do. And so, obviously, he should just join us, because he's just such a friendly dude. And he has cool abilities like Death Spell and Coercion. They might be abilities that were used on me by evil monsters, but probably not. Probably not. Probably not. So it's cool. It's good. Everything's fine. Well, he'll roll with us. He seems so beastly. I'll put him in front too, because why not? He just took 69 damage and doesn't even care, dude. That's how beast he is. I know, we could have had Seth from the whole get-go, right? And then we're stuck with people like Chaz. Unbelievable. Please, dude. Boy wishes he were as cool as Seth. Boy wishes he was cool at all. So then you get these cool text boxes, when you're progressing the correct way, where Seth is like, oh my god, you guys are so strong. Look at those muscly arms. And you know it's good when it comes down to being the muscly arm paperboy. Hell yeah. Core blimey, what a trustworthy... I can't... What? Yeah, he just threw some Japanese writing at it and died, dude. Frickin' racist slugs, man. Unbelievable. Yes. Nice self-split ambush. What's great is how I'm so much higher level than I should be, and they all still go first. It's wonderful. I love it. Love it! When you have muscly arms, the whole world is your oyster. What have I done to deserve this, dude? Aren't I already playing Phantasy Star 4? Why do I have to get owned by these terrible puns, too? I don't understand. Are you... Am I getting trolled here, dude? Am I getting punked? Am I secretly being filmed playing this game in my pajamas while I get punked by people from the internet, dude? Is that what's happening right now? Alright, Seth, you can stay with us, dude. It's fine, I know. I know. It's a scary world out there. I got you. Because you got us, we also have you. There are a lot of items. Let's use this Dimate. We don't need a Dimate. I guess we can use this Trimate. Why did I heal? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, actually, I probably need to get rid of even more stuff, too. I have a lot of things. The amount of things I have is a lot. Let's discard you. Let's discard you. Okay, you're cool. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. Let's make some macros. Rand's gonna bust out a Trimate. Rika's gonna double slash. Rune's gonna now wand. Chad's gonna crosscut. Seth is gonna be Seth. Seth, you're good, bud. You are good. You're so good. You just chill, bud. I think this is a fishy situation. God damn it. Oh my god, dude. Seth is Dark Force. I did not see that coming, dude. Oh no. What are we gonna do, dude? We're gonna put barrier up. Man. Man, who knew, dude? Who knew? Nobody knew. Nobody did. Okay, Flare, D-Ban, Tandle, Swift Home. Okay. Then you will try and main him. You will Pow Shield, you will Efess, you will Crosscut. No Grand Cross. Why did you do so little damage, Chaz? What the heck? That was very bizarre. I wonder if I just got really unlucky there. Get him, Rika. Get him! Yeah, do I have, like, the wrong thing on? Like, what the heck? Did he not actually... Oh, he didn't get Pow Shielded. He went to sleep. That's right. Got it. Got it. And, you know, when you're fighting a big monster, please understand that, of course, the most reasonable target is to go for the dick. I'm not being inappropriate. Everybody's clear. That's what we're targeting. Okay. Stop putting him to sleep, bruh. What you doing? Besides letting Rika attack over and over again, you know? Grand Cross. Come on. Yeah, Grand Cross. Let's go. Let's go. Nice menus. I'm out of E-Fesses. That's unfortunate. Time to arouse Chaz. Again. He's 400. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. But his dick's still standing. Alright, now we go to Rykros. So as it turns out, finding Rykros is actually another planet. It was actually a 4-planet solar system all along. And the 4 planets act as a barrier to contain this great evil called the Profound Darkness. For whatever reason, every 1,000 years the barrier weakens and something slips through, hence all the events of Phantasy Star 1 and 2. But in Phantasy Star 2, one of the planets gets destroyed, so the seal is as weak as it's ever been. So now the whole deal is to take the fight to the profound darkness itself and kick its booty. But before you can do that, you gotta pass some tests on the planet Rykros. Rykros? Whatever. So one last little thing to do here before we take it to the final boss. Please finish this by then. I mean, it really shouldn't take an hour from now, but I mean, I guess you never know. Soft lock incentive, yes, absolutely. So we're gonna, there's two towers, the Strength Tower and the Courage Tower. We're gonna hit the Strength Tower first. It's the easiest to deal with, and you get new gear for 3 of your 4 party members, so it's definitely the way to go, for sure. We're gonna take a slight detour, and I honestly do want some encounters, or else we're gonna have to sit and farm again for a little bit. That's fine. And then now that we have the guard rod, we're gonna make some new macros. Let's see, D-Star, guard rod, cover. I want to be at least 33 before we hit the final boss, so definitely need some levels here. Yeah, Palma exploded in 2. 3 is briefly referenced in this game. And they tried their best, but it's so different and so out there. They were like, it's a thing that happened somewhere, sometime. And yeah, see ya. Alright, well, we got 2 encounters, so we're probably gonna have to do some grinding later, but it is what it is. Now we fight this guy. There are 2 kind of themed bosses. This is the physical boss. The next one will have the magic boss. We're gonna turn Rika into a heal battery, so plop some shields on her. How's our health? Health is fine. And we're gonna manipulate this guy, or attempt to continually use his AoE physical attack, which is a little bit weaker. Hopefully he does it after we get D-Ban up. Please go to the end. I use the guard claw. Okay. My inventory is a frickin' mess, dude. It's a joke. That sucks. But it is what it is. Okay, so flare again. Satyr this time. Guard rod. Crosshair. That's not that confusing, it's just... I wouldn't even call it confusing, it's just like... you can just very much tell they were like, yeah, we didn't think this one through. Isn't the station, like, floating to Palma, like, the whole time, though? I don't know. Whatever, I don't really care, to be honest. A special attack. So literally any of the things I'm using, any of your special attacks. So as you can see, it's just outside of the beginning where you can get Troll, it's a very stable fight. You just continually manipulate his AoE, which you're not quite healing all the way with the Guard Rod every time, which is a free AoE heal, which is amazing, by the way. But it lets you just kind of mash your way through most of the boss fight. Crotch cut. Yeah. Okay, so you get 3 rings, they're helmets basically, and they're really good. And so not only is this place easier, but the 3 rings you get are for Ren, Rika, and Rune. The other tower is just Chaz and someone else that we won't even use, so it's just like, cool. Even if you could do the other one first, it's like, why? Back on Rika, Guard Claw, Silver Tusk. And let's travel to the next tower, which is a bit more of a pain, but it's still basically the same thing. Discard one of your items. We're going to be doing a lot of that, it looks like. Best character. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, it's a time waster, but it's not like the run would be dead, like the marathon one would be dead. Your PB attempt is likely dead, but outside of that, eh. I am stupid. It didn't take my, or rather, I hit up during a lag phase, so it didn't take. That's on me. That's my fault. It's annoying when it happens, but it's definitely under your control. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's just kind of like leftover terminology, really. We thought it was a lock when it first happened. It's like, oh, you can fix it. Haha, NM. You know what I'm saying? Alright, now we have the magic one, who can definitely be more trolly and more time-consuming. The only thing you can manipulate is to make sure he doesn't use his strongest AoE, Legion. But from there, it's kind of just whatever. And you're just praying to God he does, like, single targets so you can beat him up instead of, like, healing all the damn. You also need to make sure you get your barrier off, like that. Otherwise, he can do some massive damage as well. Tandle ain't great, but whatever. Flaily is definitely good. That was actually a little low, so we're kind of playing a little risky here, and it was worth it. That's bad. So when it does the big time damage ones, it's like, boom, you get one attack off. One. It's like, dang. We're coming at the end here. Unless I come out of this tower at a lower level than I want to be, we're gonna do a little bit of shopping and then head to the last boss. So if I happen to miss anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna be pretty entrenched in the run. Is anyone close? 6K, 18K. Okay. I'm gonna grind a little bit, I think. A higher level Ren is never a bad thing. Blame Discord when you can blame Jazz. Probably 2 more fights. Yeah, there's really not much to it. It's pretty free to perform and not very much time. And then you soft lock the game. So there's really not much to say about it at this point, other than if it turns out to be something useful, cool. If not, then whatever. We tried. See ya, Rika. See a rune. Holy shoot. Yeah. Okay, let's finally get the heck out of here. It's been a long road. It has been a long road. But we can finally get going. Yo, 2 missed calls from Dublin, Ohio. Nice. Nice. Good stuff. Okay, so, you know, I gave you all the backstory I already gave you, and then Chaz freaks out because he doesn't want the whole universe on his shoulders. And then Rune's like, I'm gonna show you how you're gonna man up, you know, toxic masculinity and all that. And, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Whoops. So we head back to the Esper Mansion, and yeah, we're gonna see what Rune's up to. Now, technically, there's a chance I can die here. So, we'll go ahead and save it. Because it's solo Chaz, and you can get ambushed and killed by these things. Ooh. So if I wasn't disgustingly over-leveled, because it was a marathon run, I would have died exactly right there. Exactly like that. Isn't this game awesome? You need your ring. Ooh, I never put your ring on. Nice. Glad I looked. Everything else is fine. Let's get this chat back on track, huh? So while the game gives us a nice throwback to the older games, setting us up for the end here. We're going to be moving on to the final dungeon and the final boss. The final dungeon you can absolutely die in. There's plenty of encounters that will just trap you and kill you if you can't get away. And then the final boss itself is a bit of a doozy. So with my extra levels, the boss as a whole really is not an issue. Even high damage rolls shouldn't really be an issue because I'm such high level for the most part. I mean, it still could be, but is less likely to be. The main thing that kills people for the most part is a move called canceling. And I'm probably not going to talk much during the boss, so canceling is a boss ability where all your buffs get taken off or, you know, canceled, right? And then, of course, that includes the agility buff, so you then run into the next turn where you have to re-put your barrier up, because you need that to survive any of the boss's abilities. And the problem from there is, since your agility buff is gone, then the boss can go first, cast Megid, you don't have a barrier up, then you die. And so, outside of grinding even more, which I'm not gonna do, that's just something, even with marathon safety, you're gonna have to deal with. And it just is what it is. And it sucks, but that is the reality of speedrunning this game, so it just is what it is. Okay, I will buy 1 soul dew and 9 stardies. now for one of the last cutscenes. You head back to the starport, game takes control, and you run into all of your previous party members. So the ones that live on Dezolis are come here. Kira and Raja, they're ready to join up. And then you fly back to Motavia, where all your Motavian buds are here too. Demi, Han, and Grizz. And the game leaves it open to you as to who you would like to take with you to the final dungeon and final boss. As a whole, the speedrun takes Kira. Kira is the most reliable. She's tanky enough. She has a lot of utility, can do damage, and can heal also, and has a lot of survivability. Under normal circumstances, you take her. There is really no other choice. In a marathon run with all your extra grinding, you can switch up your route just a little bit to... hang on a sec. We're good. I need to equip people right now. Yeah, you're fine. Let me get back to that point in just a second. What am I doing right now? Let's see. Stardew. Guard. Not guard. Shield. Come on, man. Guard rod. Bruh. Okay, let's leave that. Okay. Drop a quick save and let's go. So, sorry bitrate, everyone's gonna get owned for this and the boss fight. So here's your trippy edge, it takes you to the profound darkness. We wanna just try to get through here as fast as possible. And anyway, what I was saying, Kira is the most reliable at the lower levels. She can survive all the attacks as long as your buffs are up. She can heal, she can do damage. Her speed's pretty solid, like, she's just a great move. Raja would be great because he has TP refilling abilities and massive healing. Unfortunately, there's no good way to guarantee his survival because he is super easy to kill unless you grind a crap ton of extra levels, which of course, overall is not going to be very fast. Please let me go, thank you. That was fun. Grizz can be cool as long as he's got the levels, because he's tanky as heck. He just doesn't have great ways to heal, because he doesn't do any healing, so you gotta deal with that. He can be kind of slow too, but he's definitely tanky as heck, so he's definitely useful. And that's pretty much as far as it goes in terms of like who you're gonna bring. Han you could do, but he's got everybody else's problems and a little extra. And then Demi is just basically the worst of all time. Don't bring her, and you'll be happy. Thanks for that. Can't escape. Alright. So obviously I haven't died or anything, but you know, it's not a good walk because I've wasted so much time failing to get away and having to heal over and over again. But from there, I mean, it's fine. We're here, so that's all that really matters. Okay, y'all. This is it. 3 phases to the boss. First 2 tend to be quite simple, 5k HP each. they control in their own ways and lose you some time, but nothing really is going to happen from there. It's the third phase, which is, what, 13k? And can kill you in the ways I've already described. So that's the tough one here. So again, the major troll here is just, you just need your buffs up before he goes, because he could just kill someone. Like that. So he found the best possible way for me to lose time and resources. Thank you, game, for that. Appreciate it. Okay, so now when you have to redo everything, we need to re-barrier. We need to... Wait, who got hit? Shoot. Oh, it was me. It was you. You need to re-barrier, you need to re-deban, you need to swift helm yourself. My inventory is such a mess, dude. Nice miss. Okay, that's fine. So you can attack, you can heal her, you can get yourself a power shield, and you can start attacking, and so can you. Okay. Great, so now we can bust out our macros just for this single target heal. Metis will also heal androids, so it's multi-purpose. As long as you just need to heal one person and everybody else needs to just regular stuff, then it's the macro for you. And because the first two phases are not dangerous, you save all your big guns for the last phase. So that's why I'm not using any special abilities minus Nafoy. Because, you know, he's got a billion TP, it's not really a big deal. But everybody else is regular attacking. Okay, next phase, you get a free round on him, so let's go ahead and bust out our attacks. And you definitely want at least like 2 or 3 rounds of his single target attack. 3 would be really good, obviously more than that, even better. Otherwise, you will blow through your TP too fast and you'll have to start dipping into your Stardew's, which is typically not like a huge issue, but it's not great. So there's one. Another AoE, Macro B. Chaz. That's like the 4th miss, maybe 3rd. Either way, too freaking many. You need to stop with that. Okay, light shower, I can feel free to do that. Got him. Okay, this is it. Please refrain from stupid lewd comments. You all know what I'm going to talk about once you do the boss. Just enjoy the boss fight. And we're just hoping I don't get wiped here. Grand Cross. She always opens with Medjed. So that's her AoE ability. That's pretty beastly. But again, canceling is the one we care. What is this turn order? What the hell? Why is Kira so slow? Okay, I don't know. I guess I'll just deal. And hope that doesn't happen anymore. Grand Cross. So really what you want to see are those single targets on someone who can tank it. Because that's where you pump out the real damage. Nice. Give me one more. 3 for 3. 3 for 3. Ah, dang. I don't like that turn order. This turn order is so weird. Totally fine. Obviously, you do less damage on a Mega turn, but it's not a turn that's going to wipe you. So, it's totally fine. I'll take it. And we're so extra beefy anyway, the damage we're putting out is still quite good. Wake up? Okay, at least you woke up. So attack, halfway, double slash. Get your Swift Helm on, crosscut. Be ready for time. I mean, it's probably not right there, but especially with that. But yeah. Okay. Come on. Come on. Yes. Good, good, good. Okay, attack, Metis, go back to double slash. Everybody else do what you do. Okay, we're out of crosscut, so recover. Stardew, double slash, card rod. Dead. Time. What an amazing fight, actually. Minus the one canceling, which we survived. Like, I would take a boss fight like that and a PB attempt, like, any day of the week. Great fight. Can't say a lot went great in this run, but that was a great fight. What was the time? Let me look. 3:41. Really? After all that, that was a 3:41? Jesus. I lost like $1 billion, dude. I guess that's the nice thing of marathon safety once you get past the beginning. It's like you put in the time and then the rest is fairly consistent, so You just have to give up 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Anyway, I don't know what the plan is. I assume we're not watching the inning or anything. So, thanks High Spirits for putting me on the schedule. It's always fun to play the game without any stakes, so that I stay calm and, you know, don't get all crazy. I hope y'all enjoyed the run. It's definitely a nice watch in my opinion, and I'm happy to try to support RPG Chick. She's cool. I once talked to her for like 5 or 6 seconds, and I'm probably gonna go downhill the rest of my life from there. So there you go. Come check me out sometime if you want. I'm a lot more angry though. I'll see ya.
Thank you very much, Bick! With the failed 420 attempt.